Good morning, MoB family. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Welcome to our MoB Kaffeeklatsch episode 154. Wow. Let me just get text up so I can see what everybody's saying and say hello to everyone. Comments. Let's keep the comments happening. There we go. Okay, let's see. Screen wasn't really acting a little jittery. Here we go. Good morning, Enid. Oh, go rest your back, please. Yes, that's not good. Back pain is never a good thing. Good morning, Connie. Welcome. Let's see. Hello. Anne, welcome. Good morning. What's here? Heather. Hello, Heather. Good morning. Paige. Hola, Paige. Jennifer Jones. Good morning. Linda. Good morning. Let's see who else is here. I think that's I think we're caught up. We caught up. Looks like we're caught up. Let's see. Marie, good morning. Just making sure I catch up with everyone before we just jump into the show. Chris Mendoza, of course, hello. Holla, holla, holla. Dan, good morning. Mr. Awesome. All right, I think everyone's here. Okay, fantastic. It's getting chilly out there, at least where we are in the Northeast. It's getting chilly. This morning when I went to do the school run, it was, peaches. Let me just move this a little bit so we can get peaches into the frame more. Yeah, there it goes. This morning when I went to do the school run, it was 50 degrees. Like, I know it's colder elsewhere, but it's getting chilly. LK, good morning. I think this is the first time you're here. If not, welcome. In either case, welcome. Welcome, okay. All right, shout outs. So big shout out to everyone on YouTube. If you notice, I haven't done the CWWs. I don't know. Right now, that's kind of on hiatus. I'm thinking of switching up the format a bit. We'll see. Right now, it's on hiatus, the CWWs. But in other news, the Kaffeeklatsch is ongoing and has been ongoing for many, many years. We're not pausing that. So please hit the subscribe, the like, notification bell if you're on YouTube. Welcome to everyone in YouTube world. Hello. I see a lot of you on YouTube. So hello and welcome. And thank you for following us and subscribing there because you guys are awesome. So I really appreciate it. On YouTube, we're at Ben Peaches Publishing. So please share and let other people know that we're there. Okay. On Instagram, I've been putting up my faces because I've been training. So when I hit PRs, but our Ben Peaches page has been getting some stuff. So yes, I've been putting some stuff from the quote creator on Instagram. Again, sporadic. I'm trying not to spread out too far into too many different directions, which is kind of why I pulled back a bit from the YouTube channel. But the Instagram is going to get a little bit more of a presence because I want to kind of get out the covers and some excerpts, and especially the excerpts for the Patreon stories. I'm going to try and push those little snippets out as much as possible. Let me try to say everybody. I think I said hello to everyone, but if I haven't said hello to you, hello and welcome. On Zazzle, we have new swag on Zazzle. If you like the brew and chew, you need to go visit Zazzle because the M&S store, EMANDES, our store on Zazzle, has new swag for the Brew and Chew crew. So go there and go get your swag. It looks really good. I saw one of the shirts. I was like this close to getting it. One of the Brew and Chew shirts was amazing. Good morning, Mary Beth. Let's see. Pages in Bama. So bright zero clouds, comfy, no humidity. Oh, it's nice. That's nice. Thank you, Dolly, for the link. Let's put this link up. Let's see if StreamYard behaves and puts the link up. I know StreamYard's going to behave. It's going to go boom, put the link up right away. Right, StreamYard? Right, StreamYard? There you go. It's coming. It takes a little while to generate it. So the link is there. If you want to get your swag, which you should, go to that link, use that reference number. It helps our analytics, so please use that. And we totally appreciate it. And go get this new Brew and Chew swag. Is there any other swag yet? New one? the most recent swag by our designer is Brew and Chew. So go there and go get your swag. I think I'm gonna get a Brew and Chew shirt. I don't know. I really liked it. It was really nice. The cover is really amazing. So on the shirt, it looks really good. So go there. All right, let me give a shout out to our. So that's our Zazzle store. So let me give a shout out to our patrons. Hold on, let me just take this off. Where'd it go? Oh, I don't know where it went. It's taking me a moment. Okay, I will find it shortly. So it just has to kind of. Oh, here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Hi, and comment. Yes. Hey, streamer. Hey. All right. So patrons, we have new patrons. So here, let me just give you the names real quick, and I want to say a big thank you to all the patrons because you guys are amazing. The patrons are okay, and I'm gonna read the names as they give them to me. So please, this is just where it is. So the first patron that recently signed up is Full Buffer, because this person has computer issues. David, Vandana Kalyan, and Terry T. We also have patrons who upgraded. Dan Fong upgraded, and Wendy Schindler upgraded. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate each and every one of you patrons because you guys are fantastic. You go above and beyond and support the writing and me and everything that we're doing here. So I totally appreciate each and every one of you. And please spread the word. You know, let people know that there's a Patreon and they can join and get amazing stories. I'm still kind of recovering from a ballad for the dying, but you know, that's just me. So I'm trying to hide this thing, this Zazzle thing. Let's see. Can it hide now? Go away. There you go. It just took some energy. Got it. I know what I gotta do. Can you put up the Patreon link? Because I just gotta put another one. Hello, Marie. Oh, Marie's saying hi to you. She already said hi to me. I think she already said hi to me. Okay. So yeah. So please, if you want to, we have a bunch of new stuff on Patreon that it's growing like crazy. So please join it and please share with other people to join. This is our Patreon link. Take that link and share it with other people. Share the good news. Yeah, the oddball screenings that we all had in the beginning. Here's the link for Patreon. Where's your fantastic bridge picture? I don't see it. There it is. There it is. Ah, you have to activate it. It's voice activated. Yeah, I'm still recovering. I have PTSD from Ballad for the Dying. After I wrote it, I read it a few times. I was like, oh boy, where did that? You know, I was like, man, that was. And if you haven't read it, I apologize for bringing it up. It's a Patreon story, but it's one of the few stories I've written that was really emotional, and so it hits you in the feels. And if you haven't read it, you want to go read it. You know where you need to go, right? So there you go. The link is right up there. But it caught me by surprise, Chris. I'm gonna hide the link though. Okay, guys. So we can discuss anything you guys want to discuss. We have a lot of things to discuss today. A lot of topics to touch upon. By this point, I think everyone has read Deadeye. So yes, I hope you guys have all read Deadeye by now. Do we have a book to promote? Sammy, you said, Chris, who are we promoting? What book are we promoting? Because you know what we do. We support our indie authors, right? I'm glad you think so. And I was when you finished reading it, how was it, Holly, for you? Ballad for the Dying, yeah. I'm getting a lot of people telling me that it was like, whoa. Like it was whoa.
I wish there was
whoa.
There were many more chapters before the end.
Yeah, it was kind of.
I wanted to know her story.
Yeah.
How she got
into that situation. Yeah.
What they actually did, and if there's bad people will receive their
retribution, justice, avenged. Yeah. All right, we got Sammy's book. Bar Top Heroes. You might have seen the post in the mob because he asked me to put it up in the mob, and so it has been in the mob. It was definitely a gut clench, Mary Beth. It was a gut clench. It was like, so yeah. So after I'm not tooting my horn anymore, but it was definitely hit me in the feels for sure. Um, okay, we got people here. Let's. Do we want to get to some of the updates? All right, let me do this quick announcement for Sammy Dawkins. So Bar Top Heroes releases today. That's the Amazon link. Go there, pick up his book, and we support our indie authors. SOIA. It's like, where's my can you speak to the designer who makes this fantastic and amazing brew and chew shirts and stuff? And could you have her make a "We support our indie authors" shirt swag? I'd really, really like one of those. Just can you send it through the pipeline?
I will.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Have her people call my people, kind of thing. That would be great. I'd really, really. I might have the wrong number. That's why it's not getting through. I've only been asking for how many years now?
I don't know, but at this point, I feel like I should stick to not doing it.
No, do it. Do it. We stick to not doing it.
Then you won't have to say anymore.
No, I want. Come on. SOIA. Just make it show it SOIA. We support our indie authors. Or keep calm. You know what? Use the old British logo. Keep calm and support your indie authors. That's a good. See, there you go. I gave you an idea. That's awesome. Boom. I want a royalty off of that. All right. So listen. W. Sammy Dawkins has created a book. Please go get it because we do support our indie authors. If you have an indie author that you are reading that we haven't recognized or discovered, please share this author, the book, the title, right, and the author in the mob, and with an L3 at the beginning of the post, which is Larry's literary list, and we'll go pick up the book. I just recently finished Steve McHugh's latest book. I believe it's A Pilgrim for Darkness. Pick it up. It's good. It's the third book in his trilogy. Go get that. It's really good. I finished it quick. It was a quick read. It was really good. So, and I know Steve, so I always try to get his books when I can. And it was a great book. It was a great little story. So go get that. Also, Steve McHugh of Helquin fame. So go get that. Okay, let me take this off. Boom. Dan says, your recent Patreon stories are just too good and my brain can't cope with all the possible permutations. Dex and Frank, Nana and Francis, Deathless and Frank. Yeah, it's getting crazy, huh? It's getting really exciting. So come on down, guys. Come to our Patreon. You'll have a lot of fun and you'll enjoy all the stories. Anthony, good morning. Connie says, I get it, Chris. Heading to PT as we speak. I'm so sorry to hear your pneumonia. Hope you recover well, Connie. Pneumonia is not something fun. So, likewise, we're eating it. I hope I read that you were going to take muscle relaxers. Take care of your back, please. Don't do anything that might make it worse. Laying in bed, relaxing is a good thing for a back that's in pain or tight, things like that. I haven't had a really bad back pain for many, 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 many years. Back when I was doing a different kind of martial art and I tweaked my back once and it was oof. Oh, and once when I was lifting in the gym, heavy. I think I was squatting really heavy, and I was an ego squat. So I did 3. I was supposed to do 5. On the third one, something in my back said, you should stop now. And my ego said, no. You still have 2 more reps to do. And I did the 2 more reps, and I was out for about 2 weeks. So yeah, don't do ego lifts. Yeah. Let's see. Anthony says, are you going to pull all of your Patreon stories into a Mina's Life omnibus? No. The only thing and I've been discussing this with Dolly and other people, that the Morgan's Man, we might move eventually when there are a lot of assignments out, and make like a collection and put it out for everyone to get. But only the Morgan's Man. The other stories have to be Patreon exclusives because that's what they're for. Patreon. They're Patreon exclusives, So yeah. But the Morgan's man, because it's so closely related to M&S, we might put it into a collection and then. But I'm talking it has to be like a lot of assignments because how long are the Morgan's man? What 10,000? They're like short stories, so you're gonna need a lot of assignments before it makes it worthwhile. Excuse me, to put it all together in a collection that's large enough to then offer it to readers that are outside of Patreon. So it's gonna be a while. Yeah, Chris. I mean, those stories are there to kind of how would you do it? Short stories. I remember Ray Bradbury wrote this. Okay, I wasn't there when Ray Bradbury wrote it, but I remember reading Ray Bradbury saying you can write a short story a week, and you should write a lot of short stories because it's a good exercise. And I kind of took that to heart early on, but I wasn't very good at short stories early in my writing career. But over time, I started writing more and more short stories, and then it's gotten easier. I won't say it's easy. It's just that you have to have the right story for it. The Ballad for the Dying, I don't know where it came out of nowhere for me, but Chris and I discussed where it came from. And that one kind of came out of the blue. There's another one that's really good that I have that's called Hold the Line, but it's not out there yet. All right, let's see. Ballad reminded me of the Amanda Waller story of the death. Oh, yeah, CW. Wow, now that you say that, now I'm gonna have to go and look that up, that video, because I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. But that was a really amazing story with Ace and Batman, and the fact that she could have destroyed everything and she didn't, and then he holds her hand, and that she read his mind that he wasn't going to use the device on her anyway. That was, oof, yeah. I think it was up there with that for sure. That's a great. If you guys don't know what CW is talking about, what I'm talking about right now, you have to kind of know Batman stories, and that one's in Batman Beyond, right? Amanda Waller's kind of discussing why there always has to be a Batman kind of thing, and she's kind of telling the new Batman the story of the old Batman and why there must always be a Batman in the city. Okay, see the what? Oh, 15K. So the first time was 15K. So you figure the books are average on around 50 to 60K. So you need like 5 assignments before we can make a collection. 4 to 5? 4? I know, but I'm saying average. What's such a weird number? 5 is better. A collection. So 4 or 5 assignments. But according to Dolly, numerically and accurately, it would be 4. Okay, wait till Monty sees Simon in the Deathless Man. That's going to be interesting. I wonder how that's going to go. Enid asks, let's see. Yeah, when you were young and immortal. Yes, when I was young and immortal, many years ago, I was going to the gym and lifting like that. And then, yeah, I, I, I ego lifted and it wasn't a smart move. So I hurt my back and then I learned not to do that again. So, yes. Rebecca says, what is it? Oh, wait. Professor Peaches needs to teach philosophy. I think Peaches teaches philosophy on the fly. Things happening. I don't think he can teach a formal class unless there's meat involved. Heather says, speaking of Bradbury, just started listening, reading Something Wicked. That's a great story. Yes, Bradbury's a master of his craft. So Bradbury's amazing. Ace was an interesting character. Yes, a lot of power in Ace. And the way Ace ended, if you haven't seen that scene with Batman and how it ended, it was really, really, those writers really knew what they were doing. It was really well done. Yeah, really well done. Chris says our local old hotel was bought and the owner renamed it Wayne Manor. Fantastic. That's someone who has taste. Kylie says, I am doing my best, Chris. My pulmonologist, nurse practitioner said it might be from I don't know, you gotta finish that statement. So Dan is saying, I like definitely to have to go to 4D and see LD and TK. That would be awesome. LD and TK would be unfazed. Don't forget that TK worked for the Morgan. So, and actually, now that you say that, I have a conversation kind of snippet with current Deathless, the Morgan's man, having a conversation with TK about her time working for the Morgan and her answers to, like, he asks her some questions and she goes, well, I'll put it out somewhere. It'll be somewhere. But that, yes, TK and LD will be unfazed by deathless. Really, come on. This is TK and LD. So no. Yes, at the battle school. I don't know what that means, Rebecca. Where at the battle school? What are we talking about? She kind of says for my one inhaler. So she's helping keep a better eye on that and make it. You gotta watch those inhalers too. Yes, I have heard some things about them. So maybe just I guess being careful about the use of them and what you use, which one you're using. Okay. Let's do updates. It's almost. Can you believe it's almost 12? It's incredible. It's almost 12. So let me give you the updates. Okay. The first update is stuff that I'm working on. Actually, you know what? No, let me give you the sale updates first. So we have audiobooks and Dust Blader. Are all the audiobooks on sale? All the audiobooks. So we have 18 audiobooks, correct? So 19 long ones and the short stories. So they're all on sale, 50% off. Wow. And Dust Blader, the book story. I think I want to get some. Yeah, I'm interested now. Can you give me the link? I want to use I really want to get it more to use this coupon. Yes, meat is life. That's the reason why. So if you use that coupon, yes, meat is life, you get any one of our audiobooks on sale and Dust Blader at 50% off. So if you don't use it, let someone else use it. But share. Yes, meat is life with people. Let me put this up right here. Boom. Collection of audiobooks. Okay, so Jennifer Jones says, do the evil and borderline characters ever worry about going to hell? Or are they worshiping other gods like TK with hold on, with the something? Streamers chopping things up. They don't worry about going to hell. Really, they don't. And we try not to get too. See, everyone has there are many hells and different pantheons, so it would also depend what exactly they believe. You know, for which series is on sale? For in terms of audiobooks, that's M&S because M&S is the only books that are in audiobook. So it's Monty and Strong. Dust Blader is its own book, stand-up book. So with nightmares in there. I gotta write another Dust Blader story at some point. It's a lot of fun. All right, let me put Dust Blader up here. Okay. Oh, Peach is teaching at Deck. I don't know if Peach is gonna teach. He wouldn't sit still long enough. He's gonna run off and do something, you know, or he's gonna get chased by Peanut and Cece. No, he can't. So, yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. Now, Chris saying the price of coffee is up. Yes, because the current situation in this country, and we're not gonna get into politics, but it does have very real effects. So, the price of if you drink coffee, listen. Recently, this is not a plug. I do not get any money from them. They're not sponsoring me. But Death Wish recently had a 40% off sale on their coffee. So if you drink coffee and you like Death Wish, go sign up, go on their website, it's deathwish.com, and go check them out. They had a 40% sale. And regularly, if you use so we do have a coupon for Death Wish, and it's called Java Ambrosia, the word Java Ambrosia, or Vest Java Ambrosia in honor of Glenn Vest, one of our members who got us that coupon. It's a 10% coupon off anything in Death Wish coffee except subscriptions. You can't do that for a subscription. But if you buy coffee, you can use your 10% and always get 10%. It's always good for that. So because or Vest Java Ambrosia. Vest Java Ambrosia. So you go use those two words, either one of those, and yeah, you can get 10% off your coffee. I use it because I get the big 5-pound bag of Death Wish, so I use it. But it lasts me a long time. Okay. So yes, M&S are the only books that we have currently on audiobooks, and we're looking for we're working on continuing the series in audiobooks. That's as much as I can say right now. We're working on getting the production back up and running, and getting the rest of the books. We only have 18, 19, I think. So 19. Oh yeah, including Rule of Accounts, it's 19, and we're up to book 20. Oh, and five short stories. Yeah, look out. Do you have a coupon I could use to buy these things?
You do. You can. Yes. Meat is life.
Yes, Meet is Life. Awesome. And we're looking to continue. We have I'm working on the 29th book now for M&S. So we have quite a few books to catch up. Heather says Haiti should introduce deathless to Hecate, more formal thing, and into deity cooperation since Monty. That won't happen. It can't happen through Hades because that they don't cooperate that way. But it's a nice idea, but it won't happen that way. Marie says it's not just your country. I was yelled at by certain family members for drinking too much. I'm reluctant to switch to vodka. Um, I can't switch to vodka because I have to do other things like actually write. I don't think you want stories from me under the influence of vodka. And I also have to drive during the day. And I don't think vodka lends itself like drinking large. If I drink the amount of vodka that I drink of coffee, it's not gonna lend itself to me driving to pick up anyone from school. So or taking them to school. So no, I can't switch to vodka. It's gonna have to stay coffee. But yeah, it's everywhere. This is worldwide, and there's also, from what I understand, like I've been reading on this a little bit. There are some coffee shortages in the world, so you have to kind of be aware of that. This is why I say, if you like Death Wish, I mean, I know it's an acquired taste, but if you like Death Wish, they regularly offer 40% off, 30% off, and with our coupon, it's always you get 10% off if you remember to put the coupon in. You always get 10% off whatever it is you buy, with the exception of subscriptions. We don't get endorsed by them. They're not sponsors, although they should be. Since I introduced Death Wish, I think in Tomb Yards and Butterflies, so we've been writing them for years. They should sponsor us by now. But 10% off is still good. It's still 10% off, which is good. It was nice of them to give us that coupon. So that was a nice gift. Yeah. All right. So updates. I'm working on Frozen Fire. Ooh, that's steep, double, man. Marie says her prices have doubled there. Yikes, that's bad. Well, it's high, put it that way. So Frozen Fire, it's the Fate of the Dark Mages, the romantasy that right as of right now doesn't have any romantasy in it, not yet, but it's getting there. I already know, excuse me, where to kind of introduce the romance. It's gonna happen. Trust me when I say it's gonna happen. It's gonna start in Frozen Fire. It's gonna be amazing, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Me writing romantasy. It's only taken 3 books to actually introduce it, so we'll see. So I'm working on that, and that'll be out this month. Yes, it'll be out this month. Then I'm also working on the second book in the short story trilogy of the Brew and Chew. And those of you in the Patreon know what's going on in Brew and Chew. Brew and Chew has been so much fun to write. Um, it's almost effortless writing Brew and Chew because between Frank and Peaches and Rags, oh my God, Rags has become such a, what's the word for Rags? Buzzkill. Perfect word. Rags has become a curmudgeon and a buzzkill. Wow, that character changed. But it's only because she's overprotective of Cece. But Rags is like, if anyone could put a damper on things, it would be Rags. If you're in the middle of a party, Rags would be the one to call the police because it's too loud. So yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. So writing Brunch has been a lot of fun. What does Chris say? You should at least get free Death Wish coffee. I should. I totally support that idea. That I should definitely get free Death Wish coffee and free Death Wish merch. We can even switch. We can trade swag. We'll get their swag, they can get our swag. I think that's a fair trade. No, no. All right, let's see what Anthony's saying. You should also partner with a deli who ships globally. Jim the Butcher's meat is life delivery. Yeah. I don't know if Katz's ships. I can always reach out to Katz's Deli and see if they ship globally. I think they might. Endorsed by Harry Dresden. Yeah, I don't know about that. Um, Jim Butcher. I don't think Jim Butcher's going to be on board with that one, Anthony. Chris says coffee went from 9 to 13. Jeez, I don't even say I stopped buying coffee outside of the house. I used to buy Starbucks every so often. I don't even look at that now. It's crazy. No. Marie says I can't order death wish from your side of the pond. Tariffs would be yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, Marie. I'll have an extra cup of death wish in your honor. How's that? Oh my God, Rags is such a straight man. Rags is like, no matter what anyone says, Rags always is the downer. She's like, wow, wow. Yeah. If someone's gonna say the B word, the B bomb, it's gonna be Frank because he would be the character to say it. Peaches can't say it because Peaches is in love, right? See, you said it in romantasy. Peaches and Rags, right there. Romance. See, romance. Yes. Or you sit corrected right now. I forgive you. So Peaches is never gonna call out Rags on anything because he's enamored. He's smitten. Um, Cece might stand up to Rags, but she's not gonna call Rags on anything. Now we have Peanut and Kai. Peanut, I don't think Peanut would, out of her friendship to Cece, she wouldn't say anything to Rags. And Kai's just still kind of feeling himself as a bondmate, so he too would not. So the only one that would dare say anything to Rags would be Frank, because he's daring enough to say something to her. So the only one that can drop the B bomb is Frank. See, Cats ships. So if I can reach out to Katz's Deli and get them on board with Ezra's, then we can have kind of some kind of combo thing there with Katz's and Ezra's and ship worldwide and get them to endorse us. That'd be like, there you go. I think that's a plan, eh? Yeah. Okay. Let me discuss the billboards. The billboards are mock-ups. Hello, mock-ups. I don't think anyone here fell for it, but there were some people who fell for it. Like the billboard, I used to put those up all the time early on. Back when it was like Full Moon How, Blooded Sticker, those that time. But that's like years and years ago. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Rebecca's saying, "Oh, 2 mugs, Marie, for sure. 2 mugs. 2 mugs." Rebecca saying Peaches is providing the love is blind theory. Yeah. Where's it? Unrequited love? Is that what it is? Unrequited love. Peaches is doing unrequited love, and love is blind. Frank says whatever is in his twisty mind. Yes, because Frank is Frank for sure, Chris. Yeah, exactly. And so, and also Frank is old. There's a little bit of Frank's backstory is coming out in Brew and Chew. I think I'm gonna bring up more of what happened with Frank and how he ended up the way he did between the Brew and Chew crew and the next Night Warden story. And I'll answer that question in a little while. But yes, it's a hard romance, Mary Beth, because Rags is not paying attention to Peaches at all because Rags Rags is very focused on her job as a guardian. She's only focused on Cece. That's it. And Cece's safety and the power that Cece has. Because Cece and Peanut are comparable. They're both really, really powerful, and they're both really, really young. So Rags has her hands full. Um, Anthony says, have you noticed that all romantic relationships are a bit antagonistic? Do we of the mob need to send you and Dolly on a cruise? Because we can't. Anthony saying all the romantic relationships in the stories.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I think we actually need a cruise. Which cruise do we take?
I'm all for that idea. Thank you so much.
You totally endorse that idea.
Very, very rocky. Things are difficult.
Yes. Oh, Sammy, you made it. And listen, Sammy, take a moment and tell us about Bar Top Heroes, please. We'd love to hear about it. And since we support our indie authors, even though we don't have a shirt that says we support our indie authors. Tell us about your book, Sammy. Go for it. Go ahead. Well, I have some death wish in honor of Marie, who can get death wish across the pond. I agree, Chris. The older we get, the crankier we get. That's for sure. Simon, did I put you on the spot? I apologize if I put you on the spot. You got to be ready to pitch a book, like, boom, ready. Give me the one sentence pitch and then give me a synopsis of Bar Top Heroes. Go. Maybe he can't hear me. This is when he starts having technical difficulties. Okay, we'll continue as Sammy gathers himself. He might be typing, yeah. So Bruin Chew is being written. Bruin Chew will be done soon because it's a short story and I'm already like at 7,000. I say short stories usually go to 10,000. This might be a little longer, but not much longer. My short stories don't go viral. They behave. So yeah. So that's being done. Now, what's happening with the Morgans, man? Here's the thing, okay? I know you guys hear me talk about Patreon a lot, and I'm not trying to push Patreon constantly on you. But the Morgans, man, is in Patreon. So I have to kind of jump into there. We're on assignment 2. And assignment 2, is that Timothy Knox's idea? Or was it Anthony Hudson's idea? Assignment number 2, the veterinarian visit. Anthony H. So it's your idea about Simon Deathless visiting the vet. I'm going to take that and tweak it a little bit. And the Morgans, man, assignment 2 is called The Visit. And there's something happening at I guess we can call it celestial level vet that Deathless Simon has to look into because the Morgan sends him there. Because there are animals going missing and Simon has to deal with what's happening. So that's his next assignment. And when Simon protests, she says, when was the last time you took Peaches to the vet? And he goes, never. She says, see, it's time. So there you go. So that's the next assignment. Is in the Morgan's Man, assignment 2 is the visit, and it's Simon going to investigate something afoot in the vet. Boom, a paw, a foot, and a paw. Dan says, we certainly do need more backstory. And Cole, not knowing bothers me a lot. Yes. But those 2 backstories really belong in the Night Warden series, and I don't want to share too much of those because they're characters that belong in that series, and I don't want to share too much of that outside of that series. But Divine Hell will be arriving, I think, this year. I'm trying to get it this year. We'll see. And it looks like it's this year. If you see me peering off into the distance, it's supposed to be this year. So far, it looks like it might be on schedule. So Divine Hell, which is the next Night Warden book. I can get more into Cole and Frank. And actually, I was thinking, I haven't even shared this with Dolly. I was thinking of a short story with Frank and Cole, just Frank and Cole. And that might be fun to do that. So we'll see. Marie says, I remember you resisting the idea of romance in books. Yes. I always kind of resisted the idea of romance in the sense of overt romance and having it more as romantic tension, Marie. Because I don't really do overt romance until now, of course, Fate of the Dark Ages. But it's better for me to write it as romantic tension than as overt romance. And I don't really consider myself very romantic. Am I romantic? Yeah, she says I am. So if she says I am. But I don't really consider myself romantic. So I always thought I'd have a difficulty writing it, Anthony says, Rags, a committed career woman, Peaches, a free spirit with hidden depths. Scully and Mulder. Yeah. That's a little dated, Anthony, because not many people watch X-Files, but yeah, you are a secondhand writer. There you go, for sure. All right, Sammy. All right, Sammy's got his synopsis ready to go. Retired excuse me. Let me get the voice right. Retired superhero Jim is balancing running a new bar and his up-and-coming superhero team as they navigate villains and the many drunks they work with. Bum, bum, bum. Bar Top Heroes. Get your copy now. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we put the link up earlier in the show. It's available now, so go get your link. Go get your copy. Okay. Right, let's see. Peter's like moving slow. Giving Peaches a shot. No, let's see what is Peaches gonna get at the vet. That'd be interesting. Gotta be a reason to take Peaches to the vet. I think he should get a whole kind of workup. Get the nails trimmed, right? Everything. What do they do for dogs now? A full workup for that. Maybe bring in shots. How do you give shots to a vet, to a hellhound? Give shots to the vet. Give shots to different shots. I'll read it again because Chris put it up. Enid says, I keep on my idea. We'll get. Yes, Enid. All right. I don't know how this happened, but Dan, we put your thing up real quick. Enid. So let me just say this real quick. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all the ideas will get written. It's just an order of popularity by the votes, but they will all get written one at one point or another. Okay, Enid. So don't worry. I'll make it happen. So Sammy's book, again, retired superhero Jim is bouncing running a new bar and his up-and-coming superhero team as they navigate villains and the many drunks they work with. There you go. Bar Top Heroes. Get your copy now. Yes, we do need more gray. I agree. Oh, this is why, because I hit this thing here and it was supposed to be like new whatever, and then that. And put the thing up. Okay, what about Coda? Rebecca asks. What about Coda? Coda hasn't disappeared. She's getting stronger. It's just that we haven't done a Night Warden book. Divine Hell, the next book, is going to be very Coda heavy because Coda's also trained to become a Night Warden, so it's going to be dicey. So yes, Coda has not been forgotten, and she lives to give great grief. So yes. Dan says if we take the word Morgan out, we are left with the words the man. And I've already pitched my idea. The Silk Collective is in the house. You can't take the word Morgan out of the Morgan's man. But yes, I get it. It makes a lot of sense. And Silk is approaching. We could actually have like a Silk countdown. Me and you, Dan, we'll just have a Silk countdown. Silk is approaching. And then we just start doing that way. So yes, Rebecca, the Coda has not been forgotten. Don't worry. She's there. And let's see, Marie says, that works for me. Mm-hmm. LK says, I love that you don't do overt romance. It doesn't always. Yes. Here's the thing. In life, and fiction tries to emulate life, right? So in life, it's not always overt. Many times it's subtle. It's the things that are unspoken. It's the little gestures and things like that. So I try to bring that level of romance to the stories. Like if you see the interactions between Monty and Roxanne, you know that they care for each other, but they're not gushing over each other. Well, Monty doesn't gush, but they're not gushing over each other. Same thing with Chi and Simon, care for each other. But again, there's so many complications there between her giving him Ebensoul and she's a vampire and he's a cursed immortal. There's a lot of complications there. We can't do gushing romance. It's very complicated. So yeah. Anthony says M&S romance. Oh John, oh Martha, fireball in the face. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, Anthony, that's about right. Thanks, Chris. That's my old. If you would remember this, the old movie line voice for coming soon to a theater near you. That voice, right? Okay, video's acting up, audio's fine, so the combination's okay. Yeah. I'm so stealing that voice clip, sending it to Sammy. Mysterious. Yeah, you should. I think it'll work for his if he plugs his book that way. For sure. Coda's a fantastic character, and as a lockpick or a cipher, she's an amazing. She has an amazing array of abilities that are only going to get stronger ever since Shadowstruck. So, and Nocturne Melody, well, but mostly Shadowstruck. You'll see, it's going to be really interesting. Okay, so that was Morgan's Man, Nemesis, which is where Deadeye left off. We're picking up right where Deadeye left off. Nemesis is, excuse me, M&S 29, which has already begun. I've already started writing it because it's getting growly at me and it's pulling out the claws. Okay, so Paige is here, right? Are you here, Paige? I saw you wave. I just want to say that Simon has had to deliver a eulogy for Paige. So, Paige, if you want to read your eulogy, it'll be in the beginning of Nemesis. And if I do say so myself, Simon pulled off a really nice eulogy for Paige in honor of Paige's demise. So it starts with Nemesis starts with I'm gonna say it starts off a little slow, but not really. But it has to start off with some build-up. Deera's out there. They have to deal with the fact that Paige is dead. If you haven't read that I'm sorry that I well, no, there's no spoiling because Paige was a red shirt, so you knew she was gonna die. But they got to deal with Paige's death in the book, and then it's basically a book of find Deera, kill Deera. Deera tries to kill Simon. Deera has Monty's mom's sword, and oh, here's the Manticore. Deal with that. It's gonna be crazy. So, and it's gonna go from a bunch of cities are gonna go. Like we're hitting the UK. I think we're hitting Siberia. There are a few other Yakutsk we're hitting. There's a few places we're going where it's like, why are we here? Because it's Deera's trying to escape from Monty and Simon. And the thing is that now Simon, like Deera, Simon can sense where Deera is anywhere. And he has a method of being able to follow her, to find her. But it's dicey, the method too. And it's not exactly as precise as he would like it to be. So it's going to be kind of hit and miss in different places. So Nemesis is going to basically be one long battle between them. And the problem is that wherever they go and they fight, they're going to destroy things. They're going to get people upset. They're going to be councils after them. And so even Monty and Simon are going to be chased by other magic users that are, hey, don't come here and destroy our place. But Deera's not going to care because Deera's trying to kill Simon, and Simon's going to try to kill Deera. And then he's got to get the Blade Maidens involved. And then the Midnight Echelon is in there somewhere too. It's crazy. So, yeah, that's Nemesis in a nutshell. There you go. Let's see. Oh, yes, Mary. Oh, you read that? You picked that up. Oh, very nice. Mary, good eyes. Good eyes. That was, I tried to put that in subtly or subtlety. And yeah. Tough love, no gushing. Check. Yes. Tough love, no gushing. Life keeps them, wait, like Chris says, life keeps them too busy for mushy love. They can't do mushy love. Sammy, thank you so much for popping in. Always with the shout out for sure, Sammy. I hope you get a lot of sales today, and we'll put it up in the mob so you guys. And if you need to drop it again, please do put the post up again and let people know. And Mary, like I said, that was a good catch that you caught that foreshadowing from the morgue and to Simon about Chi. Paige, you had a great I mean, when you read it, you'll be like, oh, it's a really good eulogy. Let's see. See, Anthony has a great idea. Anthony's saying, I love hanging out with the mob. We need a Meet His Life cruise sponsored by Death Wish, Katz's, Bitten Peaches Publishing, and Carnival Cruises. Hello. Let's get on that. Oh, you're gonna be, it's gonna be amazing, Paige. It's like, wow. It's not long, but it's really poignant, and so I might have a poignant kick after before the dying. I don't know what it is, but I was moved. Paige, I was moved. Just want to say that. Yeah. So one of the questions, Chris, is how is Deera going to be traveling from city to city? which means, and also, how did Dira have the ability to use the compeller's touch? How did Dira learn to manipulate manticores? So there's someone behind Dira that has given her abilities. Now, the question is, who is that? And will that person be revealed in Nemesis or in the next book, which is called Chaos Rising? That is the question. That is the question. All right, Anthony says, so the next M&S book is Kill Bill, Dira. Q in the Kill Bill. Yes, definitely. It's basically, no. Let me clarify, Anthony. It's Kill Bill Volume 2 meets John Wick 4. That's basically what it is. Yeah. Dan says, a random question for the M&S historians. Did we ever find out who the homeless looking guy was that raised peaches from the Thames after the... It's there. It's really there. You just have to look carefully, Dan. The answer's right there. For that one, you got to kind of read between the lines. That's all. You got to read between the lines. But the answer's there. But I'm liking Anthony's idea. The cruise sponsored by the Meanest Life Cruise, sponsored by Death Wish, Katz's, Bitten Peaches Publishing, and Carnival Cruises. I like that idea. Where do we want to go? To Hawaii? Cruise to Hawaii? Would that be good? Or should we do like the other cruise that's really the Arctic one that takes people to like Alaska and the Arctic Circle, things like that? That would be a nice cruise. How about both? We could do both. We could do a summer cruise and a winter cruise. Yeah. I need that. Summer cruise and a winter cruise. Let's go. Let's do that. Okay, not Carnival Cruises according to someone else. Okay, so just another cruise line. Gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a huge boat if we're gonna have a cruise for sure. One idea that I've had, and I've had it running for a while, and Dolly and I were discussing this a few days ago. And if you guys have any idea of how to get this done, or can put me in touch with someone who can get this done, we want to start thinking about a graphic novel, maybe a Kickstarter for a graphic novel. So I already have one author who does this, Eric. He's a good friend, and I've spoken to him. So I'm gonna see if I could pitch this idea to him about a graphic novel Kickstarter, but just illustrators and things like that, kind of like get it started. Some ideas. But Monty and Strong graphic novel, I think, would be a lot of fun to do. So we're looking into that. So we'll see. It's an idea. Right now, it's in the idea phase. So we'll see. There's a lot going on. Yeah. So how did Dira get the powers to control the touch, manticores, and teleportation? Mysteries abound. That's what we got to find out. So yes, there's someone behind. There's always someone behind the scenes. You guys know that. Come on. And if you've been paying attention, you already know who it is. But it was a throwaway character in a sense that it wasn't much said and wasn't much discussed, and so it may have glossed over. All right, I gotta read the questions because it's 12:20, and cannot overlook the questions. So here we go. Questions. How do you say questions in French? Question, like that. Question. Question. Is that plural? Is that plural? Question. Preguntas in Spanish. I don't know how to say it in Italian, or I would. All right, here we go. Audrey's. So thank you for all the questions because I really, really, really appreciate it. It makes our show so much more amazing. So I'm looking over this way because the questions are on this side of the screen. All right, Audrey's first question. What was an early experience where you learned that language had power? Ooh. That's a good question. Wow. I have to make a distinction between spoken language and written language. The first time I realized that written language had power is when I wrote a story when I was really young, and it upset a lot of people. I don't remember the story now. I don't have it anymore. But I realized that the things that you write can impact people. And I think that might have been one of the first seeds of me being a writer. The first time I realized that the spoken word had power was dealing with my mom and disobeying her. And I said something that I think was not the right thing to say. I must have said something disrespectful or whatever. I came out the side of my face, as they say, and that got me in deep, deep trouble. Then I realized I have to be careful of the things that I say. And so that's when I realized the first time, the early experience. I mean, I was really young, so it wasn't like it was major, but they stayed with me apparently. Um, and I realized that language had power. And there were many, many, many more experiences after that where I realized that there is power in the word, power in the things that you say to other people and to yourself. So yes, so you have to be really careful with how you address yourself. Like if you always go around saying I'm so stupid, I'm dumb, I'm a failure. Unfortunately, my belief is that those things become self-fulfilling prophecies. So don't speak negatively about yourself. I don't think your brain knows the difference between someone else saying it and you saying it. So always speak positively about yourself. This has become a self-help motivation video, self-help motivation podcast. Always speak positively of yourself. Okay. Let me just see what. Wait, dear, killing her is a terrible idea. No, can't, we have to. Okay, read Nemesis. I can't say anymore. Okay. What was my next question? Next question. What was your first job? My first job at 11 years old, I was a stock boy in a grocery store stocking shelves. And I had to get permission from my mom. And permission, my mom knew the owner of the store. Because at 11 years old, back when I was 11, you could work, but you weren't allowed to work at 11, not an official job, at least. And so he got permission from my mom because I wanted to make my own money. And my mom said okay because she knew who he was. And he was a friend of the family. And basically, I worked there, and I think I gave my mom half of all the money that I made anyway. But I got to work. I was making my own money, so it was fun at 11. And then I had to do a lot of work. It was not so much fun, but it was fun. All right, growing up, what TV family did you want to be a part of? Okay, I'm not exactly young, so I grew up with a lot of different TV families. I go back to the Brady Bunch, the Cosby Show, the Adams Family. I want to really want to be part of the Adams Family because the Adams Family was awesome. Um, let's see, Lost in Space, that family. I wanted to be part of the Star Trek family, even though it wasn't an official family, but I felt like it was a family. There were so many different shows in TV that I saw that I want to be part of, that I wanted to be part of that family. Different Strokes family, Sanford and Sons family. There were a lot of shows that I saw that if I were to go down the list, we'd be here all day with episodes of shows that I saw growing up that I wanted to be part of their families. Yeah, it was so many, but all the shows that I saw, I wanted to be part of their family because I saw it was fun. That's why, not because my family lacked anything. It's just that I thought it would be fun to be part of those families. So thank you, Audrey. Those questions were excellent. Joe Durham asks, I read your email about upcoming stuff. When will the next Night Warden be released? Some point this year. I'm hoping, Joe, according to our production schedule, that's what it says. Divine Hell, the next Night Warden book will be out this year. Chrisman asks, in high school, I had long hair past my shoulders. Yes, hippie. When young, did you ever grow your hair out big Afro style? Yes. And unfortunately, there are pictures of me with a huge Afro because that was the style back in my day when I was young. A nice big poofy Afro. You want to think Jackson 5 style. That goofy, really big. So yes, that I did rock the big afro, which was also back then hippie style. I was in hippie, I didn't even know it for sure. Okay. Thank you for the questions, you guys. They're always so good. They always do give us a different dimension to each show. So thank you so much for the questions. Okay, let's see. Let me go and scroll back just a little bit and see what's happening here. We need a bigger boat, yes. And who is the puppet master? Rebecca doesn't want me to kill Dira. Dira, I think she crossed the line by killing Paige. Rebecca, things have consequences. Let's see. A lit RPG con a cruise. That's an interesting idea. I think the Arctic Alaska cruise sounds great, but Dolly's not a big fan of the cold, so I don't know if we're gonna do cold. We gotta do somewhere warm. I think the Hawaii cruise would be better. Bahamas, Bermuda, that'd be nice. Chris found out the first time language had power was when the first time he talked to himself out of trouble. Yeah, that's always like that first time when we realize, oh, language, my words can really save my bacon, as they say. So yes, words have power. Words have power to hurt, and words have power to heal. This is very true. And you have to realize what kind of a double-edged sword words can be. You know, what is it? You have the power of life and death in your tongue. That's the same. You know, you have to be really careful of how you use your words because yes, words can build up and they can also tear down. And especially when you're like talking to children, your words, not just your words. And this is a late realization for me. Not just your words, but the tone of the words, the way the words are said, have a definite impact on the person listening to what you're saying. So you not only have to worry about, or not worry, but just be wise or cognizant of the words you're using. You also have to be aware of the tone that you're using, you know, and how you're saying the message that you're saying. That's really important. La demanda. Okay. Thank you, Connie. That's how we say the question. Awesome. And this is holy crap, an M&S graphic novel. Yes, Jim Lee. Okay, Jim Lee's not gonna. I wish I could have someone like Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld. Yeah, okay, you're talking about all the fantastic. That's not. That would be an animated series, which would be fantastic to have, especially if we get Gennady Tartakovsky, because you know Powerpuff Girls. My kids grew up with Powerpuff Girls. Directed by John Farrow. Yes, like we can afford John Farrow right now. And music by RZA and John Williams. Yeah, that's like the who's who of everyone, Anthony. Sure. Oh, I didn't watch much Married with Children, but the episodes that I did watch, Marie, I enjoyed. Lost in Space, I did really want to be Will in Lost in Space. And Sanford and Son was fantastic. Sanford and Son was really, really funny. So just because Red Fox was hilarious. But I didn't even know he was really funny. I just thought it was fantastic watching the show, and you know, it's just something that I grew up watching. So yeah, must Bride family members or pics of Orlando Rocky? No, no rocking an afro. No, I think there's one in my yearbook. So from high school, I had the afro. Wow, they let you get away with wearing moccasins your entire sophomore year? Wow. That's really lenient. I don't think I'd be able to pull that one off in school when I was there. That's really laid back. Really laid back. Okay, so listen. Oh, we're early. That's nice. Fantastic. Do you guys have any questions about Deadeye? Obviously, because Deadeye is the most recent large M&S book. Um, or any of the Patreon stories that I can kind of share. Because I try not to talk too much about Patreon outside of Patreon, obviously. But do you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask? Or, you know, reactions? I guess we could ask for reactions. If you have any reactions to any of the stories that you read recently, please share. Please ask because I'm here. Might as well. I mean, I wish I had this opportunity that we have right now. I've discussed this with Chris a few times in the past. I wish I could have sat in front of Tolkien and picked his brain about Lord of the Rings or Heinlein or Frank Herbert or any of the authors that I read. Asimov, sit down with Asimov. That would have been a hard conversation because he was truly, really, really a brain, and I was really young when he was writing. But still, I would have loved to be able to sit in front of many authors that I read and just ask them questions about their stories or their characters or their ideas and where they get the ideas and things like that. I agree, Chris. Tone of voice, because many times children don't even understand what you're saying, especially when they're really young. Tone of voice is more important than the content of what's being said. The tone of how it's said. Like, if you ever, and then they've done psychological studies on this, like when babies hear their mother's voice, the soothing voice, they automatically calm down because it's the tone. It's like that. Anthony, I don't think that project is going to get off the ground. Embarrassing pictures of the mob members on Patreon. My high top fade was epic. I had a fade too. I didn't have the high top fade. I think the high top fade was that with Kid and Play, like that one, because when he had that really long hair, like it looked like a stove top hairdo. Yeah, I could definitely see that, Anthony. You should put that picture up in the mob for sure for everyone to see, and just for scientific purposes. Definitely share with us, Anthony. Share. Um, yeah, Connie, I love Italian. I studied Italian in college, so for many years. Just haven't practiced it. My ear for Italian is really good. I just haven't practiced it in a long time, so I'm a little out of practice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The hearing your full name from your mom meant you were in serious trouble. This is corroborated. Well, and it's also the tone. Like there were times my mom would call out my name, and I knew I could ignore her for about another 10, 15 minutes. Like it was time to come in, right? So she'd call Orlando, and I'd be like, okay, I don't really have to go back right now, this moment, because it wasn't the dire call. But when there was a certain tone, it was like, okay, guys, I gotta go. Bye. Because you knew if you didn't leave in that moment, you were risking pain. So it was like, we gotta go. I'm in. Game has to finish right now, and then you rushed home. So tone is everything. Tone. I mean, in addition to the content, obviously, but the tone. It's amazing how we're geared towards the tone and things, which is really interesting when you think about writing. Because sometimes when I'm writing stories, I can hear the tone of the voices of the dialogue, which is amazing. It's amazing for me because when I'm writing and I can hear Monty and Simon speaking to each other, and the tone that things are said in, which lends, if you're a writer, this you should try to aim for that because it informs your writing even more, and then you try to convey not just the words but the meaning and the feeling behind the words, and it makes your dialogue stand out. It makes the story stand out, but it makes your dialogue stand out. And that brings me back to Ballad of the Dying because the tone of that story was let's all cry together, basically. On my and yeah, because all right. So there's a little backstory here. We were gonna release a story for my birthday. That was the day that I put up the birthday video sharing my birthday with all you guys, right? That were on Patreon. I said, why don't we release Ballad of the Dying for my birthday? And she said, Dolly goes, she deadpans me first. She goes, on your birthday, really? This is the story you want to release? Everybody's gonna cry on your birthday. I said, it's a great story. It's really good. So this is the story. This is the one. Really? So yes, Ballad for the Dying was released on my birthday, and it was everybody. Let's everybody cry. Yes. And a homemade T-shirt. T-shirt. Krista had it coming on the back. Yeah. Yes. What made me pull the writing trigger? Ooh, I've always been writing in one way or another, Anthony, because I used to do I used to DM or GM, but DM Dungeons and Dragons. So you always write, kind of have to write stories for dungeons. So I've always had that writing ability. I used to do awesome dungeons. Um, so that's always been part of kind of my makeup, my DNA. And then I had a few books kind of have that the trunk novels, as we call them, stories that will never see the light of day, the general contractor and things like that. Stories that will I don't think will ever be written. But I don't know. Spiritual Warrior was like Spiritual Warrior kind of came at me the same way Monty and Strong did. I had to write it. I had to get it out, and that one was done longhand. Poor Dolly, because she was transcribing that from long. I wasn't a big typist back then, so she was transcribing it from my longhand to having it typewritten, and she was basically an expert at reading hieroglyphics back then because it was rough. It was rough. Let's see. This is so cool of you to do this for you. I think it's one of the most awesome things for you to hang out with readers, hang out with my mom, and chill out and talk everything. We don't really not. There are only a few things that are off limits, but that's things that we have declared off limits because they're topics that we don't want to polarize people. Um, yeah, you learn right away. The tone makes a big difference. What was Page? My thing was platform shoes and long pants. Really? That's awesome. Platform shoes remind me of Kiss, the group. Because I used to remember Gene Simmons platform shoes. Were those the kind of shoes you were wearing, Paige? The Gene Simmons shoes? Dan, thank you for being here. Thanks for being awesome. Have a great weekend. As always, Silk is the man. Silk is approaching. We're having like a Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Silk is approaching. We'll do it like that, Dan. Have a great weekend, Dan. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. We got like a few minutes left. So if you guys any questions, this is the time to ask. Ask it now. I think we should definitely do that. Kind of have like a campaign. Silk is approaching. I can do it in my voice. Silk is approaching. I like that. I like that. I think so. Maybe we can get a shirt that says Silk is approaching. Right after the we support our indie authors project. It's gonna be a project now. It's not even a shirt, it's a project. Mary Beth, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys being here. You guys are awesome. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. And you know what? With that, let's wrap up because it's 12:40 and we don't want to stay too long, you know? Okay, my 3 Bs. You guys know them. Be kind, be unstoppable, be uncommon. You know, it's you guys, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. You never know when someone needs that little dose of kindness that you can share. Just maybe just a good morning or hey, you know, you're doing good. Or thank you. A thank you sometimes can make someone's day. Someone who doesn't feel appreciated and you say thank you, it could transform that person's entire day or life. And as we said, words have power. If a person feels unappreciated and you go out of your way to be kind, which costs you nothing, and you say thank you, it makes a big difference in that person's life. So please be kind. Be unstoppable. The only person that can stop you guys is you. So don't let anyone or anything stop you. Be unstoppable. And be uncommon. Because guess what? There's only one of you in the universe, in the entire universe. And I've told my little ones this. There's only one of you in the entire universe. Be uncommon. Okay? Don't settle for being like anyone else. Or because you're not. You're unique. There's only one of you. Be uncommon. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are amazing. Every time we do a Kaffeeklatsch, and this one has been. I think your idea, your philosophy is right. We didn't have one technical difficulty. Dolly said before we started, don't go mentioning technical difficulties. Every time you say something, it starts to glitch. So I didn't say it. Yeah, she said it that way. That was the tone. That was the tone. That was the tone. She was like, don't you dare mention technical diff. I thought it was like Darth Vader. It's like, whoa. Said, don't you dare mention technical difficulties. For when you do, you upset the balance in the universe. And so I didn't mention technical difficulties, and we didn't have one, which is awesome. Oh, and Chris leveled up. Yes, Chris definitely the technomancy thing. He kind of balanced it out. Oh, sure. Yeah, Chris, you got to display your new powers at some point. Marie says before we go, strange thing happens to me sometimes. I read before sleep and start dreaming the next line. Then I wake up, read the real thing, and most of the time it's different. That's amazing. That's cool. I think if you read right before you go to sleep, we have a tendency. I know this happens to me. You have a tendency of taking the story with you into your dreams, which is awesome. You know, this is always a cool laid back hangout.